Good days and pleasant nights. This is Diligence here, and today I'm gonna actually be giving advice on how it is to clear your mind. With the previous videos, I've usually mentioned how it is to plan beforehand on dealing with certain problems. Now, this may be technically a way to deal with clearing your mind beforehand, as a way to do so before the case, but it's more so on how to deal with it as it happens. What I mean by that is that usually as people, we each have our own stressors. We have stress, I don't know, because of work, because of what our relationships are, because of what we're not, or maybe what we are and have done. But even then, it isn't something worth leaving discarded just because it will gradually add up. By that I mean all the stress from the several things that go to you will gradually bring you down as a person if you let them. Now, if you're stressing about the judgment of others, where it's not at all about terrible actions that you've done to other people, but rather just because of the judgment of others, then I find that as a waste of time. To be honest, with problems that are in your life, maybe think of them in this light, where if it's a problem that you cannot possibly do anything to resolve, then why are you stressing about it? Just let it be. And to be honest, if it's a problem that you do have a way to resolve, then do the way to resolve it so that you don't have to worry as such. I mean, if you're lazy and don't want to do it, then that's a whole different matter. But if at the end of the day you can resolve such a thing, then do so. And it's all the more kind to you as well as to the people around you, just because you not stressed, better personality to deal with than a you that is stressed. And to be honest, when clearing your mind, it's a lot to do with your emotional state. Sometimes it's because of traumatic experiences that you keep on thinking about, and it's a similar case, but they are two huge factors, not one and the same. In my case, I usually just lock myself in the room for 15 minutes, no lights on or sound, just to let myself think over whatever it is that's going on in my life. But that's the bit about the thinking. Now, the emotional factor, that's to do with how it is you as a person are managing all of your other problems in your own life. And to do that is really upfront. It's not so much the case that you can do this beforehand, just because emotions are things you accrue, not so much that you generate. They do come from within our people, but they aren't necessarily things that are made beforehand, before incidents. And that needs to be dealt with immediately after you, say, are very mad, very sober, very happy, very sad. Otherwise, this will just carry on to the next thing that you're gonna be doing in your own day or in your own time. And that's, well, maybe with the happiness bit, that'll be nice, but that's just not good. It'll dramatically impact negatively those that you deal with in that time. And to resolve that up front is a lot better, just so that you can manage better as a person, as well as for other people to then in return be able to manage better as a person. You may not lock yourself up in a room necessarily in order to calm your mind, but do realize that you need to put away in order for your body to not add in any new information so that your mind can process whatever is going on with it at the moment. And it may be that you actually need to tire yourself out in order to avoid anything distracting you. Or even go to the length of, say, going in a bare room where there are no electronics, nothing to read, nothing that's fancy or colorful in order for you to focus on it. And that's more so if you as a person are impatient. And that definitely is the case with many. Just saying, like, I err more on the side of being patient. But for those of you that are impatient, just realize if you have anything to distract you in that room, just get it out. It is better to just deal with this at that time, small bit of your day, and get on with the rest of your life. Otherwise, these things will plague you throughout your days, throughout your time, and it will accumulate. Your mind will eventually settle and it will give you a sense of relief. It will not last though for that long of a time. It may be that do this once per day and it will cover for the rest of the day, but it will not cover for the rest of the week. So keep that in mind. This is a kind of a last minute at an extreme type of treatment, and it's one that you can do most any time. It's just, well, with the people around me, maybe not in, say, if you're living in a humble abode or in somewhere outside of the US where it's more tropical, where there is just so much information that's being thrown around, it being through either, say, devices such as phones, computers, or music, it being, say, through the people there being a heavy population now in cities, even in suburban areas or urban areas. And there also being a lot of heavy news outbreak in which, not to the point where it's, say, listening to what's important in news, but listening just for the sake of listening to something, which is tied to social media. But again, some platforms, they aren't really urging so much that there's the news. They are. And when it comes down to it, a lot of us are searching for drama. And I myself don't really do that, but I do recognize the need in order for others to calm themselves down when it comes to all of that thrown around emotion and thought processes that aren't really that of your own self, but are definitely with you as a byproduct of listening in. So to recap, in calming your mind, the main exercise being put yourself in a room that's quiet, has no lights on or distractions for you, and be there for several minutes. For me, 15 minutes. If for you, it may be less or it be more. And emotional bit, do what you can in order to resolve the things that are stressing you out. If there is something that you cannot resolve yourself but is stressing you out, then push that aside and don't consider it as something worth stressing out. And with that done right, culminating all together will make you a better you. It will for sure make things that are at one point disastrous to deal with bearable and even feasible for you. Even if you thought you weren't able to as a person handle that, you will, just because of having done this. And I seriously hope that this is done right with you and that you follow through no matter what. I will keep on updating these videos in order to give voice, in order to improve your lifestyle as well as that of others. I seriously hope that you found this video useful, and I'll see you next time.